Welcome to this quick tutorial on how to use numbers to make digital workbooks. So I've had some people ask, why would you use numbers? So for me, the biggest reason is that numbers makes it to where our students without internet can access the workbook, download it, and then they can work through the workbook without internet access. So they could go somewhere and use Wi-Fi and get it downloaded, and then for the next week or so, all of their lessons and materials they need are in one spot. So everything's there. Students can get quick feedback by using conditional formatting and highlighting. And then also you can incorporate videos, images, articles, everything in one spot. And so I think that would make that whole concept of having it all unified and in one place will make it easier on our students and our parents to be able to find their materials. Okay, so first you're going to find numbers. I've used it, so it's on my toolbar, but otherwise go to Finder, Applications, and click Numbers. And then you'll have to go to File, New. And I just use the basic template. And so click Continue, and you'll want to delete out that graph to begin. Okay, now that it is deleted, we can go ahead and you're going to see up at the top the toolbar where you can click for your charts or tables. You also have another option up there for graphs. And so when we're looking at graphs, there's 2D, 3D, or interactive. I'm going to show you an interactive one real quick and what that means. If you insert the interactive, let's just do this one. You insert the interactives, you can click through and it changes your graph. So you might have a way that you want to use that in class as well. Text box gives you the text, and the formatting panels over to the right for you to choose your styles and sizes. And then there is shapes, and you have all these different objects and shapes you can choose from. Apple does a really good job with variety. And then images. So image gallery I really like because you can upload using this panel over here. You can insert multiple different images in one spot. Okay, so let's start with some text. So you will go up and you click the T and it's going to pop up a text box for you. And over here to the side is where I was talking about the variety of different fonts you could use. But I just stick to Arial. Even though there's really neat fonts, it's just make sure that they are there. So I'm going to type in welcome to Mrs. Utterback's class for kind of an example here. Okay, and I typically go right up to the left-hand corner. This is a big empty workspace, and so your kids can scroll for years on it, but I try to keep everything up at the top. You can change your fonts or your colors. Border, if I wanted to put a border around the text box, I can do that. Shadows, you can add a drop shadow to make it a little fancier. Those are the different things you can change there, the blur, the offset, the opacity. So that just dresses it up a little bit if you want to get a little fancier. But once you have that, then I would typically add a shape. And I really like this like rounded corners square here. And so you can add a shape and change the fill of the shape and the border by clicking over there on Format. So okay, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can insert in a video. So I already took videos of myself and made the videos using iMovie or just video clips. All you have to do, the cool part is just drag it over. So I went and found the file and I took and dropped it right where I want it. I'm going to shape it down and I'm going to insert it right there. Now, the best part about videos here is when my kids download this workbook, the video is going to be downloaded. So they're not going to need internet access to watch this as if they would need YouTube or whatever else. So then after that, I'm going to type in whatever text I might want here. I'm going to do some like little fun facts. And so this could be a good way for them to get to know you, especially those of you teaching virtual classes. But you could use this however you want it. Okay, so I followed all the same steps and made a new page using the arrow in the left-hand corner. And now I'm going to create, like, maybe this could be like a math pretest. So I'm going to add a table in here. And I delete out the words at the top, and then I click on it. And that little button on the side will eliminate my columns and my rows. And so we're going to use this for what's called conditional formatting. Right now I'm just making it to where the font is the right size for my box. Doesn't really matter how big your box is. You can do it whatever you want. I get a little bit perfectionism going on there, and I like it to be a certain way, but you can leave your fonts however you choose. Like I said, they'll keep a basic font because it makes it a lot easier. So let's say we were going to use this for, I don't know, math, okay? So I'm going to type in some math problems. Here we go. We'll see if my elementary basic math comes out. Brock will be learning this soon. I'm going to type in some different math problems, and then we'll come back to how to do the answers. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to go over here and click Cell and Conditional Highlighting. And when I do that, I'm going to add a rule. This is numbers we're working with as far as math. So I clicked the number one and I did equal to. So if this is the right answer, I use green because it's easy for kids to remember. And so let me show you it again. Conditional highlighting, add a rule, equal to. And I just change it down there to highlights in green, and I put the right answer in. Now you can also do not equal to and change it to red. Oh, hold up. Change it to red, and that will do the wrong answer. So anything that's not right will turn red. I stick to red and green because it's very easy for kids to remember. Green means go, red means stop. So super easy, and you can see here if I get the right answer, it turns green. Wrong, it's red. So it's really however you want to do that. Some people don't like to put the red in because some kids can't handle that very well, but that's an option. And then you could always put a video in here giving them instructions, and sometimes those instructions via video are even better than reading for our youngest learners. So this is an example of one that I put together, and I kind of wanted to show you guys so that you could see some ideas. So I have a getting to know each other page. So my plan is my kids will screenshot this once they fill it out and upload it to Canvas, and I'll read their answers. And they'll upload it as an image, so I won't have a ton of files to download, just simple images. So that was the first page. This is SMART goals. So I have directions there for them. And then this is one of those gallery images. So I took an article and I screenshot it into several different images, and you can flip through it and read the article now. So that was one way there. That's for them to take notes out of the article, and as well as the box at top. This part gives them a little mini lesson from myself, and it talks about like how to develop SMART goals and what makes a good SMART goal, and then they are going to evaluate the ones down here and fix them themselves in those boxes. The next one is creating their own SMART goals. So I gave them 5 spots just to type. Once again, they'll submit that via screenshot. We do the creed really early on, and so that's me saying the FFA creed so they can hear it. And then they're going to have a project this year of analyzing the creed. So I think it's important that they understand what the creed is or what creed even means. So they'll watch the video, and then this is the scoring guide for them. So when you're creating these, one way that's easy to set up your computer so you don't have to open and close is using the split screen. So when you do that, you're going to want to have your numbers document open and your internet open, and then you'll hold the green arrow down and put it in the half that you want it. And so you'll see I just selected both of mine, and now I can see both the internet, I can see Safari, and I can see numbers. So when I want to search something like math, I can find an image I want and just drag it across. And so I don't have to save the image off. I don't have to copy paste. I can just drag it and it will show up in numbers. So it makes it really easy and a little bit more efficient. One other formatting tip is using Instant Alpha. So if I put an image in and I drag it on top of this blue square, you can see that there's that gray background around the math book. But if I click Instant Alpha and I highlight the area I want to disappear, now my image doesn't have that background anymore and it fits nicely on the color that I want it to have. I really hope this was somewhat enlightening and really helps you out, and you can go back and watch it over and over again. But some things to remember is it doesn't have to be fancy. So you can spend all this time making it super fancy, or you can really focus in on what's important and making sure that you're getting the information to your students and they are able to access what they need if we have to go virtual. The next thing that goes hand in hand is keeping it simple. So our youngest learners, this is going to be really new to them. So don't confuse them with a bunch of extra craziness. Make sure you put down, you give them directions of what they need to do. Our littler, younger, I should say, learners may not be able to have great reading skills yet, so video instructions are great. And the other thing to keep in mind is we're going to go face to face next week, and teaching them how to use the workbook while we're still in person will be so beneficial. Our teachers that are starting virtual, you might be able to do this via a class Google Meet, maybe send home some instructions, or create a video like this that they can watch on their own time. The last thing to remember is how you're going to have kids turn in work. So for me, my plan with this is that they are going to screenshot and upload to Canvas. Now, I will still have, and I put a note in here, I'm still going to use Canvas for assessments, quizzes. They're still going to have some assignments on Canvas, and my kids are high schoolers, so they'll be able to manage that a little bit better. But this workbook, like I said, makes it so easy to keep all of the instructional videos they may need in one place. And that's really the big selling point for me, is being able to get those instructional videos to students who probably don't have internet access. So as always, if you have questions, feel free to comment, send me an email. My email is utterbae, which is UTTERBAE at troy.k12.mo.us, or reach out to one of our awesome ITFs. I'm sure they all know how to do this as well, so I'm sure they'll be able to help.